Beautiful day. It's a very good day for woodworking in the North Carolina mountains. So first I have to put the bench in its place and secure it to the wall. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to make is a stoned foot friend, and so I'm going to pick out the stone, and I've got these beauties. These are all good, but we're going to go with that one. This stone is 1 3/100ths of an inch thick. 1 3.5/100ths. 1 5/100ths. So here is the base piece that we're going to be using for this foot friend. Solid maple, of course, and here is a piece that I think will work for the product. It's thick enough and wide enough. That's going to fit like that. And now we need to make it wide, the right width, which is 1 and a little more than 7/100ths. Okay, so I can actually just put the stone in between the fence and the blade and worm it down. Okay, so I found these beautiful cherry pieces that'll work great for the sides. So I'm going to set the fence so that it's the same height as that. Okay, so now I've got to plane this center piece of wood down to where it's ballpark close to the width of this stone. Okay, we got it cleaned up now, but how thick is it? Oh no! I went too far already, friends. It's already too far. Okay, we're gonna switch stones. This one is not as thick. Notice how I cut the end nice and clean first? What's up with that? There we go. There we go, by God. That's the base. That's what will hold the stone into position. Okay, so now I have to take out the amount of wood from this piece that will allow this to recess into it. And I've determined that this is going to be the top of the stone. And I want a little bit of meat left on the bottom of this so that it's got plenty of strength, because this along with along with that is going to be the thickness underneath the stone, and it needs to be sufficient enough to handle the weight of people's pressing. That is pretty close. Now, I'm going to take this half pencil, so it's a pencil that's been shaved down so that it's flat on one side. Now, we're going to take this and create the shape, making sure that it's straight up and down. And then we have to do the same thing on the other side. Okay? The light is causing me grief. There we go. You see that? Now I'm going to make a couple of little marks right where it ends. And then we're going to make a couple of marks straight across, like so. Then we're going to make a couple more little marks there and there. And then we're going to reposition the stone. Let's see. Right. Right. We're going to get the height about right again. And to mark the other side. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Same. Same. This one is pretty round. It's pretty symmetrical, I mean. Notice how it doesn't alter from side to side. So now I'm going to use this Japanese pole saw to remove all of that wood. Not quite either, but you'll manage. We're getting there. Okay, I've successfully removed most of the material, as you can see. How am I going to get that nice and smooth and round? That's how. I think I'm going to try putting Junior up on the table. Let's see how that works. Here's a tabletop sander. So, as mentioned, it's pretty much symmetrical side to side, but I'm going to mark it anyway. We're going to put an X right there, and an X right there. So after messing and messing with it, and fiddling, I got it down to there. Okay, so let's fit it up and see how it looks. Look at that, look at that. Pretty nifty, huh? Now, this, when I hold it together, the stone is not tight. Okay, that's okay, that's good. We don't want it tight yet, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this piece down on the sides a little bit more until it's tight. So we're going to just take a full piece of sandpaper, put it on the bench, and grind it down until it's right. Okay, so it's getting very close. If I hold it together really tight, I got about a 32nd of an inch to go, maybe less. Okay, I've got it to where I think it's pretty tight, but we're going to Jed clamp it just to see how good it is. Remember, Jed clamp it? We're going to Jed clamp it. Oh, yeah. Yeah, by golly. That's pretty tight. Had to remark the X. So from all this leaning over, I've noticed that in my middle back, it needs to crack. I've just got the solution for that. Hey, where the hell are you going, boy? Okay, let's glue this up. Now I'm going to use this little ruler to get that glue squeeze out of there. See how handy that is? Ugh. Just knocked my stuff all over onto the ground. So while that's drying, let's eat an orange and then let's carve a shindig. This orange is gonna be so good. Oh man, I can't wait to eat this freaking orange. Yummy. Oh mama. Oh mama. I've had these Nicholson rasps for a long time, and this is the more aggressive one that I just used. And now I'm going to use the smoother one to smooth it out. This leaves a smoother finish. This is the aggressive rasp. That one's looking pretty good. Okay, now I'm going to take the heavy sandpaper and get this sanded down. So initially I used the 80 grit paper, and now I'm using the 120 grit paper. That's nice, man. Yeah, really nice. Now I'm getting these marks out. These are the original marks that I used to designate where the blade and all of that is going to be in the middle. Okay, by golly, let's see how this did. You get really good doing things with one hand when you're a videographer. There she is. Now, that is tight, and it will go in, but I don't want to force it in now because I don't want to have to try and get it out. Okay, this has to be set at dead 90. And it is. Okay, so now that it's sanded down to 120 paper all the way around on the outside, except for the bottom, which we're not worried about, because now we're going to glue it onto the base. But before we glue it, we are going to use alignment pins for this. Okay, so I've clamped the two pieces together in the perfect position. And now we're going to drill a couple of 1/16 inch holes right here and right here. Perfect depth, which is about right there. Okay, then we're going to unclamp the parts. So those need to be sticking out just enough so that they'll align with those two holes, so that when I squeeze it all together, it's in the exact same spot. Get it on. Come on now, babe, let's get it on. Can you? Let's give it a slight clamp right there. I'm not putting a lot of pressure yet. I'm just getting it down a little bit. I'm clamping and I'm clamping, I'm clamping and I'm clamping, I'm clamping and I'm clamping some more. I keep clamping and clamping and clamping and clamping. I'm clamping and I'm clamping some more. This will go on there. Oh no, that won't go. So we're gonna take this and see if we can meander it. Oh, this will work fine. On the sides, we're not worried about that because that's got to be sanded. There we go. So when you're doing your healing, you constantly have to come back to center. You constantly have to regroup. You constantly have to rethink things out because things can get chaotic. And when you're doing woodworking, it's the same deal. You get tools that are all over the place and sawdust and stuff, and anything that you don't need to use anymore can be put away, right? So now I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna eat some food and have a little lunch. It's not super dry, but it is dry. To avoid marring the surface of the wood, I'm going to put this piece of leather down and then gently pull it out. Just testing it out a bit for looks. Okay, now I'm going to mix some putty so that I can fill those two little holes that I drilled. Yep, that's what I'm going to do. Boogers. Aha, much better. And so now I'm going to make this edge all flush with this. Nice and flush and smooth, and get rid of that glue squeeze out. Now we're going to do the same thing with the two sides. Then I'm doing the corners by hand. Okay, so now I'm going to use this palm sander to finish the end down to better. Okay, so now I've got to do some hand sanding around the corners. Okay, now I've got to route the edges nice and round. Okay, there it is. I'll snug the stone in later. But other than that, it's all assembled and sanded and ready for a nice finish. Okay, now I'm going to give everything a blow job. Okay, so check it out. I'm just finishing her. Him, her. Trans, bi. Whatever it is. So the tongue oil is mixed 50-50 with citrus solve. It's not actually citrus solve, it's a citrus extract. Okay, it's completely done now. Check it out. I also took some very fine sandpaper and sanded the top of the stone so that it's super smooth. Oh yeah, oh yeah. It works all right. That is a really good massage tool. Let's see if it works with the other foot. Oh yeah, it works with both feet. Amazing. And this tool will last for hundreds of years, giving a lot of relief every single day to feet. And all people have to do is take the time and use it. So thanks for joining me, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this video. Links to all my products, including the Foot Friend and the Stone Foot Friend, are in the description box below.